Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with the daily coin analysis. Today I will be reviewing Compound. Comp is a decentralized finance coin that was really strong in the summer of 2020 and died and is now breaking all-time high levels. So let's take a look at the technical analysis on this. As always, this is not financial advice. I'm not an expert, do your own research. So as I said, this Compound was a decentralized finance coin. It pulled back heavily in the summer. Well, it pumped and then it pulled back heavily in the fall, I'm sorry. But the actual run started a little bit earlier. Let me see if I can see on the Bitcoin chart. It's still not really great. Okay, so what we're seeing listing here in the late parts of June. Big pullback, followed by two spikes up in August and September, and then lots and lots of death. This is the Compound USD pair. You can generally see these types of areas, this kind of former listing price as like a big supply zone. This is where a lot of people were selling. Price spiked up again in August, pulled back and spiked one more time up for an exhaustion pump in September. And then all of decentralized finance and altcoins really just pulled back heavily throughout the fall of 2020. And this was a big supply zone that got tapped twice with big reactions. So once price made this sort of rounded bottom reversal, you can see this rounded bottom reversal. This is kind of pretty self-explanatory in terms of what it is. You can see price bottoming out with decently high sell volume. And at this time, sellers are they're done at this point. They're all out of inventory, and now it's about to be a change in trend where you can see price slowly grinding back up. You can see lots of buy volume coming in. This big buy candle right here was one that took out many sellers, and then it price pulled back once again. Came back up, pulled back once more, and then after that, all the sell side liquidity around 180 was done and finished. Price grinded up, broke through, and it's important to also see that this former resistance area at 180, so it's resistance, 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 and then it flips to support when price comes up, and in late January, and then goes even higher. That's obviously a important, simple concept, is that support becomes resistance and resistance becomes support once it's broken. So this is a good example of that. You can see resistance several times across the board, and then price taps that level of support and then goes higher. So this former sell zone in the 230 to 260 area, this initially was resistance, and you can see this first tap here in this area had a strong reaction. You know, this is kind of late January. It's usually always the first tap is the strongest because those orders are still there from before, meaning you know, if there's some old buyers or old sellers that were trading back during this time period, those orders still might be there. Or you might see just chartists like myself say, oh, this area is an area of resistance, I'm going to sell around here. There's lots of different reasons why this happens, but usually, as CryptoCred says, first test, best test. This was the first time that price went up to this area in late January. Price pulled back once it hit around 250 and hit support around 180 against SR flip, and then it broke higher above this level. So this was kind of like a recap of what happened in January, and price blitzed really strongly in early January, all throughout the month, and then it pulled back very strongly. And what we're seeing right here is kind of accumulation type of price action where price had this key swing high around 550, and price was not able to break that region across several taps. You could see price tap there, price tap there, price tap there. It really couldn't break this level across several different times. I mean, price also briefly held above here. And it's important to note that these orders are getting filled, so this resistance level is getting weaker and weaker every time price is tapped. And that's a concept that I always talk about, is that support and resistance gets weaker the more times that price taps it. And it became a perfect SR test again, where price broke up cleanly above. It closed on the 1 day on April 23rd. That's not something that you saw since early February, really, or ever, is the daily closing above this key 550 level. And it closed above and retested that level. This retest is not something that you always get, but when you do, it can be very profitable. It's important to understand. Price did close above on April 16th, but this was more of a fake out as price dipped quite a bit below after that. So it got all the bulls excited because price closed above this level and everybody's buying in, but really price nuked all the way lower quite a bit and then came back up to this level, broke up, and now this is more of a confirmation though, because the volume is significant on this break. That's what you want to see after it breaks past resistance. This previous buy was certainly convincing because it's some of the highest volume that it saw back really since February or December, but this was really high, nice volume on this break, and it was more convincing than this other one. So as I said, this is a clean SR flip of this 550 level, and now price is going higher. I personally think that comp is a very good coin to look at because it ranged in this price action all the way since February. You don't typically see coins have this kind of a bullish accumulation pattern where price will ping pong across a 1 month span or 2 month span like this one did, and really February, March, and all of April, almost 3 months, and now it's getting ready to go again. I do believe that decentralized finance coins will be very strong going forward, and this is one to really watch, in my opinion. So as far as targets go, I mean, it's going to be very hard to say what the targets are. You might have to look at the Bitcoin pair, because the Bitcoin pair has a lot more resistance levels on the left. A lot more price history where there are some resistance levels. You can't see that on the USD pairs. So let's look here at the BTC chart briefly. You can see this this kind of, what is that, 100,000 Satoshis area, 108,000 area kind of being resistance. It was resistance here, and again resistance right here. And now price broke above it. The next level up would be this 140K sats area. This would kind of be like the next area up, in my opinion. I believe that there should be some sellers around that area. I don't know what it'll translate to the comp USD pair, but there should be some resistance overall. So as I said too, if you're trading this pair, you should look to the left and look at the BTC pair as to what the levels will be. And you can see here, this was just an SR flip as well. You can see support here at 140, support again briefly. Well, this area, it's important to think about these levels as areas, in my opinion, just because it depends on the style of trading that you do. But if you swing trade, then you should think of these levels as areas, in my opinion, because there's going to be support somewhere along this block, but it's hard to tell exactly what. So you can say this becomes support, and now it's resistance. And again, this should be resistance for the next time it gets tapped. The reason is that it hasn't been tapped since February, so there still should be some orders. So I expect something like this, where we see this level get tapped, pull back, and then go up. Given the overall price action on the USD pair, given it's accumulated for the last 3 months, I believe that there are some strong targets for this one. It's not out of the question that this goes to 200K sats, in my opinion. The issue with the high targets, though, is that there is quite a bit of trading volume and activity all throughout this 100 to 200K area. So it's going to be fairly hard to decide where your SR levels are going to be marked when trading this. Personally, if I were trading this, I would look to sell around this 200 area or 190, and 175K is also looking like an area that might be an area of interest, given this kind of high volume node right here, and there should be some resistance there. So overall, this pair still to me looks pretty bullish. I would look for a break of this 140K area, 150K area. That's kind of like the next level up, but I am still bullish on Compound. I think it looks like a great decentralized finance coin. It's also a big reason why I think decentralized finance as a sector will do well coming up. This is definitely an active trade in my opinion. When you see price accumulating for this this long and you see it start to move with high volume, that usually means that there's more left in the tank. So I would be personally buying dips, and there's several ways you can trade this as well. If you are looking for entries, I would personally look. This immediate area also already got tapped, the 640 area. 590 could be an interesting area of support around here. This would be like kind of an immediate area to look at. If you are wanting to get a lower entry, something like 540 might come, but I don't think it'll come anytime soon myself. You also want it to maintain its bullish market structure as well. And you can see this higher lows that are being formed right here. This higher low formed at 540. And so you might see something like it breaks up and then it will make a higher low around 650 or so. But you want it to maintain this higher low structure if you are buying this coin. So it is making higher highs and higher lows at every single point at this time. So something like 580 would be an interesting place to bid, and it would still maintain a higher low in my opinion, because like the last low that was kind of established was 540 to 520. If you want to get aggressive, buying here is also certainly a possibility. You'd be buying more of a breakout trade instead of buying dips. Again, certainly a fine, valid setup if that's your style of trading. You can see this swing high area at 660 be a kind of resistance area, but now price is coming back up to that level. So buying the breakout is certainly a trade opportunity as well. You could buy, wait for the break, wait for the retest, and then go back up. So that's certainly something you could do. If you want to get aggressive, you could buy now. And if you want to stay a little bit more conservative, 580 is kind of like the area that I would view, and lower. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Compound. I think it's bullish, so good luck.